we go back to the world where people have powers, and you have these robots that work in the police force to keep everything in check. And the story continues. After the first movie, our hero has been arrested and now is being released and is trying to get back into the community and be a good person. But then again, new machines are being introduced. They've introduced a new dog that it's more less aggressive. It's less aggressive than the humanoids. The big, the big robots were they're not human friendly. So you have these smaller dog-like robots which are now more human friendly. I don't mean that they look cute. They still look industrial and rough, but they're smaller and they're more responsive to what humans do. For example, if you're holding a gun, you're threatening the robot. The robot will, come aggressively at you. But if you raise your hands up, the robot will stop what it's doing and just stand by so that you can come and get arrested. So they've improved the services, right? But then we learn that within that police force, there are a few corrupt elements, like the main villain, the Asian guy. He's a corrupt cop who gets money from a character that our main character covered up for in the first movie. And so we find out that he's been receiving corrupt money from gangs from different blocks. And now the main story it doesn't focus on the main character from the previous movie. At the beginning, it focuses on this little girl and his brother. So the little girl is in a school, and so they are told that some of the stuff that they are going to be given, some of the things that they were given for free. They have to actually buy them. Now the brother works hard for the sister, and so he has to do what he's not supposed to do. He has powers too. He has to do what he's not meant to do in order to help the sister get whatever she wants. And so what does he do? He does something stupid and he gets himself killed. And now, unfortunately, the dog is involved and the sister saw what happened, and the movie now goes into trying to expose, the corrupt cops and the vulnerabilities of these particular dogs. So I thought the movie was pretty good. As a sequel, it was okay because it maintains the tone and the pacing and the nature of the first film. If you like the first film, that's why I started by saying that you are going to absolutely love this. The action set pieces are okay. There's one that I actually really loved. The first time that our main character uses his power again in slow-mo, that was absolutely amazing. It was pretty cool. I went like, damn, I want to see more like this. Now they added more characters, random characters, like this one Asian lady who works in the school. She has her superpower is like thick skin. She has a moment which I thought was pretty cool. I was like, I wish she wouldn't have, whatever happened to her didn't happen, because that had potential of creating something interesting. Now, as for the villain, because I always believe that the villain actually makes the movie, because his motivation, amplifies the main characters. And so, the main character is a pretty interesting individual. He is a person who had powers but did something to himself so that he can suppress that. And by the time the movie ends, he gets to use his power. We get to find more about him. But in terms of outside family and the power stuff, there's nothing much to it. But as a villain on a movie on a streaming service, I think he works because he feels more like a B-movie villain. I'm not saying that he's bad. He's convincing. He serves the story as the story necessitates. So, as for the young girl, her role was pretty interesting. She has an ability to, I don't know, should I? No, I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll discover her powers. You'll discover how her powers is used. And now these dogs have these things. They don't actually shoot you, so they usually inject these little dose into you and you die. That is used in an interesting way, especially in the third act. But then I was like, why would you do that? If the dog did this to you, your powers can't be that much. You can't be that powerful, so you wouldn't be able to do something else, power up something else. What were they thinking when they were doing that? But generally, apart from that, I like the visual effects. I expected the pacing, I expected the performances, because the performances is still B movies. They're not perfect. They're not like super. They're not cinematic performances. They are. It's what you'd expect, especially the brother and the small sister. They are the performances that you'd expect from this kind of a movie. What I was impressed with was the dogs. You know, the robots. I call them the dogs because they look like dogs and they're designed like dogs. The way they are framed during tense moments, they're framed to look villainous. They're framed to look bigger than the way they're supposed to be. Everything about them, the movement, to when you have a really tense moment, to those small moments of just turning the head and the light, the red light, it just feels villainous. But then when you step back, it looks like it's not a cute dog. It's still very industrial, but it still looks smaller than everything else. But during tense moments and those disturbing moments where they have to kill someone, they are framed in a very villainous way. So I pretty enjoyed that. They were made to look larger than life. That's what I want to see. During moments of tension, they were made to look larger than life. So yeah, that's Code 8 Part 2. If you love the first one, you're going to love this. If you're looking for a movie like Elysium, big budget, cool robot action set pieces, now this is not it, because they also pay a lot of attention to the human characters, which is cool, and also saves a lot of money for not developing all the robots. You still have the robots, even with the dog. You still have the big robots cops. You still have them, but they are utilized 2 times. There's the first time something cool happens, then there's the second time also something cool happens. Actually, I can just say this is one of the most realistic look at robots in a movie that I've ever seen, because that's how robots would behave. Especially there's a scene whereby they are shooting. The way they look, everything is calculated. The way they move the guns is pretty calculated. It looks like what a robot would do. It looks like if you were to go in a car manufacturing company and you see how the robots move, that's how they move with the guns in one particular scene. So that was pretty cool. So Code 8 Part 2 is it's a 3 out of 5. It's okay. The performance is all over the place. The script is not a very powerful script, but it stays true to what we expected from the first movie. Tries to expand it for the general audience, because this looks like it's targeting a broader audience. With the characters that are brought in, with the themes, it feels like it was, because it tries to capture the family concept, because of the sister and the brother, a bit of corruption, the bad guy. It just feels like they were going for the general audience, but still maintaining the core of the first Code 8 movie, which is superpowers. Keep it low budget, but not low budget bad, low budget but still cool, because the robots look very good, the dogs look very good. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch it to enjoy, and enjoy what you watch. Thanks for watching this. You can subscribe if you like, and I'll see you on the next one.